Now, one of the most confusing parts of healing from narcissistic abuse and going no contact and trying to move on with your life is why you can't seem to get those nasty people out of your mind. You don't like them. In fact, you probably hate them, yet you can't help but be drawn into their presence mentally, emotionally, sadly, even physically. Why? Why can't you just move on? Well, it has nothing to do with liking them. In fact, whether or not you like them or hate them or whatever's irrelevant, it has more to do with addiction. We need to talk about addiction, your addiction, my addiction, and the role that addiction plays in toxic relationships with narcissistically abusive people. It's time to break this addiction. My name is Kevin and this is The Royal We. Before I continue, I want to let you know that I'm here for your support. Down in the description box below this message, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. In addition to that, I have a brand new life coaching program where I teach every day, Monday through Friday, live with questions and answers. It's only $49 for the entire month. You cannot afford to miss out on this. And guess what we're talking about all week? That's right, addiction and addiction's role in your life and why you are stuck. So head on down there and get registered and join me all week long. Now, there's a few things I want to cover for you and with you in this video. Number one, we got to break some misconceptions about addiction, so we're not afraid to look at it and understand it. Number two, we're going to look at the role addiction has and why we're stuck thinking about the narcissistic people. And then number three, we're going to talk about breaking the addiction to the narcissist and what that actually looks like. All right? Ready? Here we go. Number one, misconceptions. Misconception number one is that addiction is about substances only. That addicts are into alcohol or drugs or weed or pot or shrooms or nonsense. Addiction actually spans across all kinds of stuff. Addiction can be to sex, money, work, extreme sports, right? Food, all kinds of things. Addictions is not just chemical and substances. It's everything. And we're going to talk more about why that is, okay? Because that plays a part in why we're stuck. Number two, the second misconception is that addiction is because of a hole, a void in our life that can only be filled by Jesus or by God. How many of you have heard that one? You need to fill it with your higher power. I think AAs and drug places are known for that. You got to fill that void with a higher power. Wrong. A higher power, God, Jesus, will never fill the void that addiction does. And we'll talk about why. Yes, there's a void, but it can't be filled with just an idea. We're going to talk about what will really fill that void. Okay? So those are the misconceptions. Now that we got the misconceptions out of the way, let's talk about why you have an addiction to begin with. So first of all, the addiction is not to the substance. The addiction is not to the person, the narcissist that you're dealing with. Addiction is not even to sex. Addiction is not to food. Addiction, here's what addiction is. Addiction is to whatever gets your biochemistry going. You see, you're really not addicted to the narcissist. You're really not addicted to alcohol, right? You're really not addicted to any of these other vices in life. The real thing that your body is craving is the chemicals that you produce in your body. What chemicals? Well, the most powerful chemicals known to mankind. Chemicals that God has given you for a reason. What are these chemicals? Adrenaline is one of them. Adrenaline is responsible for fueling our anger and our aggression and our frustration so we can put in that extra effort to get something done that we need to get done. That's the purpose of anger. That's the purpose of frustration. That's the purpose of adrenaline. It serves a huge role in our lives. It's important to understand that. What's another chemical that's powerful that our body produces? How about serotonin, right? The feel-good chemical. That's so that we can feel rewarded. I mean, what good is it to put in that extra effort to accomplish something great if it doesn't feel good at the end? So you can see how God has gifted you with these powerful chemicals so that you can get your butt up in the morning and get to it. You can build stuff, you can do stuff, and then you can feel good about it. Wow, brilliant, genius. And guess what? If you're not doing that in life, then guess what? You've got a void. You've got a void. Why? Because you're not doing something that excites those chemicals. You're not even using them. That's the void. But watch this. Narcissistically abusive people come into your life and they hijack your system. Here's what happens. Many of you were at the time of the peak of your performance in life when you met the narcissist, were you not? How many of you were sustained and feeling good about work you were doing? How many of you were artists doing fantastic things? How many of you were satisfied? You were accomplishing goals. You were using your adrenaline. You were using your serotonin. You were using these things in appropriate ways. Narcissist comes in and hijacks them. Why? Because they showed themselves to be more exciting in the beginning than the work that you were doing. And as a result, just the same as with alcoholics, you in your mind go, oh wow, well it's easier to feel good with this person than it is to feel good after a long day's work over there. So I'm gonna go along with that person. That's just what alcoholics do. It's why they start drinking, because it's a quicker, cheaper, easier way to get the feel-good juices in the body. It's the lazy way. The narcissist becomes the lazy way too. But then watch this. Then the narcissist starts to fight with you, argue with you, demean you, devalue you, push you, shove you, push your buttons, provoke you to fight, and guess what? Now you're getting built up with all of that adrenaline. Right? Another chemical that your body needs. And what happens? It becomes an easy way to use your adrenaline, fighting with a narcissist, as opposed to using it what it's for, which is to get out there in the world and make stuff happen. Use your frustration to push forward in life and accomplish things. It's much easier to sit and fight with a narcissist. So here's what happens. You dealt with the narcissist, and now they got all of your chemicals going. You're trying to walk away from the narcissistic person, and here's where you're gonna deal with the void in your life. Because now you've walked away from your passions, you've walked away from everything else you were doing in life, you walked away from your art, your music, your work, everything that you should have been doing. You gave it all over to the narcissist, you let them excite your chemicals, and now they're gone, and now you have the void, that emptiness. You don't know why you're waking up in the morning. Nothing is exciting. So your mind is going to gravitate towards thinking about the narcissist. Why? Because just the thought of them is more exciting than doing nothing. The anger that's provoked by the thought of them or looking at social media, getting your adrenaline going, is at least providing a hit of adrenaline, as opposed to sitting down doing nothing. You see what I'm getting at? So yes, there's a void in your life, but the void isn't the lack of God. The void isn't the lack of Jesus. The void is that you're not living to your full potential. And so you're not using your adrenaline, and you're not experiencing rewards, and so your mind can only think of the narcissist. This is why you're addicted to the narcissist, even though you hate them. There's biochemistry involved. There's chemicals in your body that are involved. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. When the thought of them excites your adrenaline, well, that's all you got. So how do you break it? Now that you have an understanding of addiction, and now we've dispelled that addiction is just bad, negative things, right? We understand that addiction has good purposes in our life. Now that you understand this, what do you do to move forward? That's what we're going to talk about. Well, we need to start to trick our minds and our bodies back into doing things that are even better than dealing with the narcissist. What does this look like? Well, maybe you need to experience adrenaline in your life in a more healthier way. Get your butt to the gym every morning. That's what I've been doing for the past 3, 4, 5 months. Working out, using that aggression, getting the adrenaline going. And it works. I've tricked my mind and my body. I look forward to going to the gym. I don't have a single thought about the nasty narcissist. They don't matter. They're irrelevant. I never liked them anyways. Now my adrenaline is focused on my performance, right? Which also allows for the serotonin, because when I'm done working out, I feel great. Focusing on my passions again to get serotonin. See, It's the healthy understanding and the healthy ways we use our own chemicals in our body. So yes, what I'm trying to tell you is if you feel stuck thinking about the narcissistic people, the toxic people, family members, friends, a lot of it has to do with you not filling the void in your life of getting out there and living to your full potential. So you got to get out there, you've got to trick your body to producing these chemicals, reteach your body what excitement is. And maybe for those of you who, like me, you require a lot of adrenaline, right? Then do something extra scary. Go skydiving. I know some guys out there that do skydiving a lot. This is why people do that stuff. Listen, I was an athlete, played football and baseball in high school, so I require more adrenaline. I've got to keep myself going. Otherwise, my mind's gonna gravitate towards the narcissistic people because the fights were, they were pretty intense. You see what I'm saying? Get to the gym, go skydiving, go ride a horse, go travel the world, go do something scary that's going to make you a better person and trick your body into believing and understanding that that is what adrenaline is for. Go do something rewarding. Experience a real reward. Let's stop trying to take the easy way out for these rewards in life, right? It's like drinking alcohol. It's an easy way to get serotonin. It's a lazy man's way, a lazy woman's way. Drinking alcohol, having sex, that's the lazy way. It's time to get back out there in life. If you want to stop thinking about the narcissist, get back out there, do what you've been called to do. Build stuff, use your frustration, use your adrenaline, feel the rewards of that. Understand why God gave you these chemicals, which are the only thing that's gonna fill that void in your life, is you using the chemicals that God gave you to do great things in this life. How many of you am I resonating with right now? Give me an amen, comment down below. Before I leave, I'm here for your support. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. In addition to that, brand new life coaching program. We're talking about addiction all week long. So I'm not gonna give you everything right here and now. I want you to join the class to see how deep we can go into understanding addiction and why we're stuck with narcissists, right? So head on down there, get registered. $49 for an entire month. You can't afford to miss out on it. Before I leave, I wanna invite you to watch this video right here. YouTube recommends this video for you, right? Believes it's a good video for you, so I'm gonna agree. YouTube knows what you watch, so watch this, and I'll be back right here on The Royal We.